a quick demo of how to use the Google Forms and the Google Sheet that I've set up for the Crown Laureate competition. So what the judges are going to get, and I can make like a QR code or a link or both for this, but they're going to get access to this Google form. So I just submitted a response, but I'll show you how that works real quick. So the judge is going to select their name. There's a drop down. I'm going to be an imposter as fish, and then they'll enter the item that they're judging for. So we'll say they're judging test 2. And then it comes up with all of the rubric items, instructions to enter scores from 1 to 5. So they can do 2, 3, 4. We're just gonna throw in whatever values we want here. And then complexity, nope, sorry, not 7. I do want to add some checks to make sure that in case somebody enters a typo, it'll catch that. But for now, yeah, enter score is 1 to 5. The last page has some feedback, so you can enter some feedback there. We're going to say, wow. And so that's what it looks like. Then they can go and submit the response for the next item. That information then goes to this Google Sheet. So it's got a few different subpages down here. This is where the information comes in. So this is the row that this is a bunch of other test data that I've filled in. But this is the entry that we just submitted a score for. So there's a timestamp. We were pretending to be fish. Item number test 2. And Janice, when you go and run this, you can use whatever item numbering format you want to do. So like at Dragon Master, I think it was like A2, A3, A4, etc., depending on the player and like what number item it was. So yeah, you can do that whatever you want, just as long as the judges are entering the item name properly. Yeah, so each row has all of the stuff. This is where the feedback goes. So if somebody wants feedback on a specific item, they can get that from here. And then it calculates the averages, which go back to over here. This sheet is locked, so you're not able to edit this sheet because this is just where some math happens. This is the only one where you, as the tournament runner, actually have to do anything. So I've set it up. Test 2, I've already put this in for the item that would be test 2. But basically for every item number, you enter it here. And then you put the player who entered that item in this category. And then the next column, it's a drop-down menu. So you can just select which A&S category that item actually belonged to. So like this dummy item test here, Era made that and entered it as court garb. Item test 2, this is the only other opponent in this little mock competition that I made. Their name's Smelly, and Smelly made an Amped Guard legal shield. If I was to go and change this and say Smelly made poetry instead, this category item here is going to swap as well. So poetry is a dragon entry, or a dragon category, so that's going to swap. But I'll put it back to Amped Guard legal shield, and it'll switch back to owl. That just pulls from here, so this stuff is also locked. You can't edit that. And then this is the main results, the main show. I'm going to try to make it a little prettier, but this is also, you don't need to do anything. The only thing that you need to do is enter the item name and the player who entered it. It goes and it calculates out based on what category everything was entered in. It's going to calculate which item, the name goes here, was the best in Garber, and then what the score was. So best in Garber was item number test 4. We can go back and look at that here. Yeah, test 4, Era, that was Monster Garber. And then based on the scores that were submitted in the Google Sheet, that's going to give us a score of 5, which is the highest score for all of the items in the Garber category. So it puts test 4 there. Test 2, best in Owl. That's the thing that Smelly entered, that shield. Test 6 was the best in Dragon, whatever that item was. And then it calculates the best overall as well. Over here is where it determines if a player qualified. So to actually win the Crown Laureate title, you have to have that minimum number of items in the minimum number of categories. So we're a duchy, so that's 7 items in 5 categories. That's checked here. So if Era entered 7 items, or at least 7 items in at least 5 categories, then qualified autofills with true, and their score gets reported here. So this is their averaged score across all of their entries. Our competitor Smelly here, they only entered 1 item in 1 category, the shield, so that autofills with false, and their score goes there. And then the winner, it pulls based on who qualified and who had the highest score. So if we went and filled out more data for more players, it would put them all here, and it would pull whoever has the highest score that qualifies to be the actual winner. The one other thing that I'm still working on that I'd like to get running is I'd like to have a better way to flag for duplicates, because judges should only be judging each entry once. The way that I have it set up right now, I'll just do a quick little demo again. Let's do a duplicate item for fish on test 7. So I'll go back to the form and we'll make another little mock entry, fish, test 7. Fill it with this, whatever test 7 was. We're gonna say it's really bad. Okay, so we just submitted another entry. We can go back to the sheet, and it flags duplicates here. So if the same judge judges something twice, it'll flag it in red. I haven't automated a way to deal with this, but what you can do if this happens is you can go and probably delete the older entry. So it has the timestamps here. This one was made at like almost 3 o'clock. This one was made at 3:50. So we're gonna go and assume that fish wanted to overwrite the previous score for test 7. So actually I'll show you first. We can go over to, did test 7 win? No, it didn't. Okay, but if we go to the scoring summary here, then test 7 it's getting averaged across both of those entries right now. But if we go and delete the older one, delete row, now it's not coming up with red anymore. Oops. And if we go back to, sorry, opened that by accident. If we go back to the math zone, now test 7 has those ones that we entered. So that's the only thing that, yeah, that's the only other thing that you have to keep an eye out for is duplicate entries. Yeah, that's the system. If you have any questions about it, just let me know, or if there's things that you think would be other like helpful additions that I can add, let me know that as well, and I can probably make it happen. Hopefully you like it.